Hey everybody, this is Melina from ScrapbookingwithME.com and me, Crafty Scrapper, here on YouTube and Instagram. Today we have another M's Scrapbusters challenge, and this is going to be little 3x4 cards, which are also known as ATCs, or Artist Trading Cards. And these were very popular back in the 2000s when I was doing a lot of swapping. These were very popular, and I know they still are among the people that love them, but they've kind of went away that I have seen, and I love the size of them, and I wanted to do a little something different with this 3x4 size card and make it ephemera to add to our journals. Now, whether you do junk journals, the vintage style, or if you just do a handmade journal with modern papers, this will work with whatever that you make. I do have one that is not so vintage. All the rest of these are vintage pieces that I cut out from a cut apart page in the Tim Holtz memoranda collection. And then I have some modern day colors here also. So there's all kinds of 3x4 cards, artist trading cards, or project life cards, of course. So if you do pocket scrapbooking, you have seen this size card also. And I have the Tim Holtz Field Notes stamp set that I'll be using on a few of these today. I have my stamp block to go with that. I will be stamping them in my Vintage Photo regular distress ink. I've already showed you the modern papers, and I might mix a few of these with that and stamp and distress them. Then I have some cut apart from some paper that was in my stash. I just love the little cut aparts that they had in them. Trees, typewriters, there's a camera. It's just cute little cut aparts, so I have these to add to them. And then I have from last week, you will recognize these as our challenge from last week. We had the 1.5 circles that we were layering and making ephemera clusters with. That was last week, so I might add a few circles onto these also. Then, of course, I have some digitals over here. I say of course, I have them a lot more here lately. I used to never use digitals, and now when I can't find something in a collection that I want to add to something, I pull out these digitals. I have a variety. They are my porch prints. I have some from Tracy Fox. I have some from Shabby Dabby Doodah. So I have quite a few companies represented here. I also have one full sheet. Well, I say full sheet. It got torn. But one full sheet of paper from the memoranda collection that I won't be able to use fully, like in a 12x12, so I just have that in case I want to use that with some of these also, since it matches. So, ATC pockets. I'm going to try to keep this video at around the 30-minute mark. We'll see how that goes. But I want to be able to do these M's Scrapbuster challenges once a week and keep them in the 30-minute range. And I want to be able to show you exactly how I put the things together. Last week's was timed. You do not have to have a timer on this week. I want to see quantity from you this week. So I have 10 3x4 cards laid out, and I'm not timing myself, but like I said, I want to keep the video in the 30-minute range. Now, we might be at 39 minutes by the time it's over with, but I want to keep it in a 30-minute range. I'm going to get my vintage photo ink out, and I'm going to ink all the edges of mine. You do not have to do this step if you don't want to. I just like the dimension that inking the edges gives. So each one of these is going to be inked around the edges, and if you've been doing vintage or distress crafting much, you know all about this and how to do it. So I will show you this one and one more, and we will skip on like magic to the last one, and then I'll show you what my idea is for these ATCs, or 3x4 cards, or Project Life cards, whatever you want to call them. I want us to build up our ephemera, our handmade ephemera supplies for our journals. So, like magic, here we go. Alright, and there is our last one inked. And I had a question last week, since last week was the debut. This is only the second video for M's Scrapbusters challenge. I had the question last week, oh, is there going to be a prize? The prize is you get ephemera clusters made. You get all kinds of goodies made for your journals. This is just a weekly, I want to make it a weekly challenge to get your creative vibes going and be able to make some things, some beautiful things to add to your journals. So if you're struggling with, oh, what do I add to this page in my journal, or I want something new to, make to add to my journals, I'm trying to give you those ideas, and this is just a challenge that I want to give to you, and you be able to work it and see what your outcome is. So that's your prize. You get great things to go in your junk journals or regular journals, whatever you want to call them. Alright, so for these 3x4 cards, I want them to be functional. So I'm going to make each one of mine into a pocket. So you can use these in a pocket that is in your journal, and it's going to have a pocket on it also. So it's going to be like a double pocket. Or you can just add these with the pockets on. You can just add these to your pages, or a tuck in your journal. However you want to use them. We are just getting ephemera clusters made up, snippets, little pieces of art. We're getting them made and ready to add to journals whenever we start a new journal, or whenever we start to do that layout in our journal, or journal in our journal. We've got little pieces of art to add to it here and there along the way. Alright, so these are mostly modern, but if you get to looking, this one goes very well with that one. The blues are the exact same. So I'm going to cut this one down and make a pocket. And when we cut these in half, of course, then we have enough that we can add one of these to two of these, because we're going to cut them in half and just use some liquid glue around three sides and put them on the bottom and make our pockets. So if I wanted to use the other half of this one on another one, I could. And I like that color with that also. So that might be what I go with there. But I am going to get these laid out like I want them, and I'm going to cut these little darlings in half. And a few of them I might make a little messy and tear them, and I think that's what I'm going to do with this one. I'm going to fold it just on the edge there so I know where my middle is, and then I'm going to start tearing. Okay, and then I like that blue and that blue together, so I'm going to add that there. We're going to do a little bit of stamping on some of the plainer ones, and of course we're going to distress around them, and then we're going to add these pockets on. So I'm just looking to see where I might want to add these pockets. And you know what? I'm really loving that torn look. So I think I might just, and if you will go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth like this, you're going to get a little of that raw torn edge on both halves. So I really like that on that one. That is so pretty. So on these you can make them more slanted if you wanted to, but if you go across like that, you're going to get be able to use one on two of the full 3x4 cards. Okay, and then this one is very pretty, and I think I want to use that maybe on that one and that one. So let's, and I'm just doing this just so that I can get that kind of middle ways line, so that I'm not giving one of these 3x4 cards more than the other. Okay, I like that. And then I might do, yep, I think I'm going to do this one. Okay, there's that one. And let's see here. Ooh, I like the little flowers. You can barely see those. The tiny, tiny little flower print on the back of that card. That has got the green of that on it. Ooh, that one's pretty. I like that. Okay, so just need one more. And I really want to use this floral. Now, it might not be matchy-matchy. Oh yeah, we'll distress it down enough that it will look fine on that one. Okay, so there are our little pockets, and I am going to distress all of these, and I will magically be back at the end when I have all of the little pockets distressed, inked. Alright, all of my pockets are distressed around the edges, and on some of the white ones I went a little heavy and got them a little dirty around the edges, just so that I can cover up some of that white that's on it. And this one is too straight for me, so I'm gonna tear it just a little bit more and then add that distress ink there. I really love that a whole lot more. That one is okay, and all the rest of them I'm pretty happy with. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get my non-stick craft mat, and I'm going to keep all of these with the card just so that I don't get confused myself. Now, you could totally add things to the actual card itself if you wanted to, but since I got mine from the Tim Holtz Memoranda stack, I have, well, most of them except for that one, I have mostly like a collage background. But if you wanted to add extra stuff to your 3x4 card, you definitely could. Alright, so I have little pieces there. I think I want to stamp on it, and if you have gotten this stamp set from the shop, it is fabulous. Okay, so this is a little field note piece, and I put that on there, and of course with the polka dot it's not going to show up tremendously well, but you can see that faint image on there, and then I'm just going to stamp off to the side to kind of get that off of there. And then I want to do, I know I said I was going to do all distress. I guess I could get my black soot out. I'm going to go around the edges of this just a little bit with my black. Just give me a little bit more dimension on that one. And then I'm going to stamp this little specimen stamp into my black soot and make sure that it is totally covered, and add that. Now that looks good. And then kind of off stamp there. Now, if you do not have an abundance of stamps, don't worry. You don't have to use them on this challenge. Stamping is not a requirement on this challenge. I'm just doing that just because I had that Tim Holtz stamp set, and I just thought it was so pretty. Let's see. I might use one of these, and I think I'm going to tear it also and add that, and I'm going to put some vintage photo on that one. Get my glue out and add this. Now, if you have lace, if you have seam binding, anything like that, you can add that, of course, to these. I am not telling you what kind of paper to use, what kind of cardstock, what kind of embellishments. I don't have an abundance of lace just because I'm not a big lace lover. Even though it is beautiful, and the people that do use it, it comes out beautifully. I'm just not big into lace. So I think I might add just a piece of this seam binding of Fabri-Tac on the bottom here. Just a little bead line of Fabri-Tac, if it'll come out, and kind of gather as I go. So I've got my little spatula. Now, we don't have spatulas exactly like this one in the shop, but we do have spatulas, and if they are sold out, we will get more as soon as the manufacturer sends them to us. We started ordering them, and then y'all started ordering them from us, and the manufacturer kind of got a little overwhelmed, I think, because they are out of stock now. Alright, so there is that, and then I want to add, okay, I've got a little piece of printed bag, and then a little label, and I'm just going to put that printed bag down, the little torn piece right there, and then I'm going to ink around my label, and then add on some glue. Okay, and I want it a little wampler-jawed, so we're good on that. Now I need to get glue and just easily around the edge. I do not have a fine tip on my sugar bell, so it's a little bit thick, but maybe it won't be too bad. Alright, and then I'm going right up to the edge on the bottom of that card, and of course leaving the top open. So there is our first little ATC pocket. It's got that open at the top. This is another little stamp from the Tim Holtz stamp set. I'm going to stamp that there. And then I'm going to off stamp right beside it. I love how that looks. Okay, and then I'm going to add something here. Let me see if I've got a little rosette. I bet you I do. Let's see here. Yes. All right. I'm going to... I don't see any tiny ones, so I'm going to cut this one apart because I will never use that big piece. Get that off, and then that off. So I got a little rosette here, and I think I might add some torn paper or maybe a ticket. Oh yeah, that ticket. Let's see here. It's off to the side. I'll be there in just a minute. I'm having to cut it off of the sheet just so I don't have to bring this whole sheet into frame. And then I'm going to cut off just a little bit at the top of that. Oh yeah, I like that. Let's ink. Okay, and then I think I might, whoopsie, I think I might add this little craft circle back behind that. Yep, I like that. So that's already inked around the edges. I'm going to put some adhesive on the back of it, and then I'm going to drop it in the floor, glue side down. And there you see my lovely hair in the corner. Okay, so that down and then that down at a little bit of a whomper. And then some adhesive to the back of that. Cute. Love that. Okay, and then a little bit. Ooh, look how wild those flowers are on the back side of that card. Little bitty. I say little bitty and it just keeps flowing out. Stream of glue. And if you don't drive your glue straight, like Mama says, you might have a little bit of a hard time with that. So, especially if you don't have a fine tip on your glue. So how cute is that one? So you don't have to add layers and layers and layers onto your ephemera clusters or snippets or whatever that you make yourself. You don't have to add a bunch of stuff. This is probably going to go in a page of a junk journal, so you don't want it too bulky. I love how that looks. That is a pretty one. Alright, so there are two of them. Okay, got this one. Some book page mini that come from a digital. I'm going to put that in the corner there and still show just a little bit of the pocket piece. And then this is some of the cutouts, cut aparts that I found a sheet of from my stash. I like how that looks. Whoop! And there it goes upside down on my little pocket. I like that, and I'm going to do a little rosette on this one also, if I can get my Fabri-Tac to cooperate, maybe let's just drop it there. Alright, let's see. My glue, just get you a little line going on all three sides and attach to the bottom of your 3x4 card. Okay, I've got this little label, circular label, that I'm going to use on both of these. And then I'm going to stamp there and then off stamp in the corner of that one. I know I'm in the way bottom of your frame. Sorry, I'll be back up in just a minute. Right, there's our pocket backs there. There's our little stamped pockets. And let's see, I think I might want to use the black soot and do another little stamp of some kind. Do this one. Oh, pretty. I like that. Okay, and then do it as straight as possible, because Lord knows that I don't stamp straight. Alright, I'm going to do a little something on this side, so I'm going to do this there. I like that. Cute. Okay, and let's see here. Oh yeah, you could also notch these at the top if you wanted to. They're just so short. If you do that, you don't have a lot to work with once you notch them, but that can totally be done if you wanted to do that. And let's see, I think I had some washi around here, and I like that. That really goes with that really well. So let's do a strip of this on here, and then I might do some of the butterfly, just a torn piece on the bottom part of that, if I can ever find the end. And there it is. There we go. Oh yeah, that really goes with that color scheme of the Tim Holtz stuff. Alright, and you can just wrap it around, because we're going to glue that down. That goes with that too. I had that one on that one, didn't I? Yep. Oh well. Okay, and then just a little piece of this butterfly one, torn, and it's already wanting to tear off of the actual roll, and kind of leave just a touch of the pocket showing at the bottom, and then I think I'm going to tear it there too. Yeah, I like that. Okay, and then I think it needs some type of label. This is some little tiny miniature book page. And let's get some of that cut out. I want that little emblem at the top. That's why I'm cutting around. Let's ink and then add that to the corner there. I'll lop this off, and then I'll ink that edge there. That's pretty. I like that one. Okay, and then let's see. I think I want some of that darker book page this one, and I don't want to cover up all of that, so let's do a little circular piece. There. And maybe that there. I like that. Even with the straight edge, I like that. So let's dabble a little bit of ink on this tiny little piece. And a little dabble of glue. There. And then inking on that one. Okay. And then a little dabble of glue there too. I'm just going to let that hang out there. I think I might pull it on up to the top there. And there. And maybe a little label. And maybe kind of hang it off right there, because that one still needs a little something. I think maybe this one. Okay, I inked the edges of this little label and got me some glue on it. Pulled it over just enough so I don't have to cut any of it off. I like that. Pretty, pretty. Okay, and I might add, okay, the Tim Holtz vintage photo. I'm just going to take that off, and I'm just going to dab, just a little dabble do ya. Okay, and then I am going to let that dry before I adhere that pocket piece down. And with the oxide spray, you get some really cool effects. Like that little drop that dropped right there is already turning a little silvery looking in the middle, and then on the outside it's just the brown. So that has got some really cool effects to it, that spray. I have actually cut myself, and with my very sharp Tim Holtz scissors, and that is why I'm not showing my other hand. I will go and treat myself. It is good. I'm good. There's no ER visit needed or anything like that, but I am a little injured. Crisis averted. I have a little puncture mark under my nail right there, and it really hurts, and you can tell how deep it went into my skin. But anyways, it's not as bad as I thought it was. It looked bad when it first happened, but it just gushed a little bit. We're good. All right, that's enough talk about blood. Okay, there is a fifth one. We'll just keep on going. Okay, I'm gonna cut off a little piece of that book page there, and I'm gonna have this like a little piece of ribbon across this one, kind of like that, and then add some more stuff to the edges of it. So run my glue. I have got to get a fine tip and find my tweezers. Those tweezers come in handy big time. Okay, I like that. And let's add this little circle here. And then let's add maybe some Oh yeah, I like this green polka dot ribbon. Just going to add just a little snippet of it to the edge, and I'm going to, I think I'm going to try not to cut myself again and do a little banner like. Yep, that's cute. I like that. Alright, and then just hang that off, and then I'll cut it off, and that's already inked around the edges. So let's glue that one down. Okay, and then Fabri-Tac, and just get that laid down where I want it. That is very cute. Do I want to add a little something something? Let's see. Maybe this little book number here from the stamp set in oh yeah, that's cute. That's very cute. Alright, wipe that off, and then let's adhere that. Okay, now I said at the very beginning of this video I wanted quantity from you. So in the challenge, I want to challenge you to make more than 3 of these. So more than 3, and I have, looks like I have doubled that maybe. Yep, I've made 6. So I want you to make more than 3, and that is very easy to do. They're very fun to make, and I know with my last challenge I had people making lots and lots and lots of those circle snippets. So I know if you had fun with last week's, you're really going to have fun with this week's. So here are 6 that I have completed, and I have 4 more. I dropped one somewhere, but I have 4 more backs with pockets, and I will go ahead and make those too eventually. But these 3 will definitely be in the still shots at the end. So here are 6. I want you to at least make 3. This challenge is all about quantity and making 3x4 cards, ATCs, project life cards, whatever you want to call them, into a little something different, and adding a pocket just for our journals. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.